Hello, welcome back. This is Lolly. I am ready for December Daily Part 10. If you've not been following along, make sure you look down below at the playlist of all the videos in this series in which we are making this amazingly chunky 6x6 album for our December dailies. All the information you will need is down below. Make sure you look at those links. So the last time we left off with this here, and after I had done the video, oops, we got a little tape coming loose here. After I had done the video, I added a little strip of washi right across the top, and I put the bow there and just put a couple of little decorations in the pockets. That's all I did differently. Oh, and a little thing here. These are just tags that I've gotten. I usually get things after Christmas on clearance. Okay, so we are ready for this here. This is going to be today's spread. And a little change in that I was mentioning I needed a full-size page to cover that back. I'm going to use this one, which I thought I was going to use as my shaker, and instead I will use this one as my shaker. So we'll get there. Okay, so on this one, I was thinking about this, and I have this die. I was looking through my dies, and I wanted to use this. This is the sketched rectangle frame by Craft, I believe, yeah. Or if you're from Australia, Craft. And I keep doing this. Do you keep doing the same thing over and over again and not learning your lesson? I should have, but put the double-sided sticky tape on the back, you know, like the score tape that comes in sheets. And I should have put that on the back before cutting that out, but I didn't. So we're going to use the fine tip applicator here and glue this on. Now, those of you who do not use art glitter glue, you will notice that in my shop, you really can't get it right now because I know the company themselves, they won't ship it in the winter because it's water-based and they don't want that to freeze up. So I don't ship mine in the winter either. That doesn't mean you can't get it. There are some places, for instance on Amazon, where you could still get it even in the winter because they're making a sale. So I do carry the fine tip points here though, fine tips for the glue, although I did run out and I've got more on order right now. Okay. All right, now let's get this situated. And what I thought was this would be a perfect frame for a photo. I should have put it down a little lower. I didn't realize I was going to interfere with the top of the page there. I love that it adds interest without overpowering the page there. And like I said, right in the middle of that, you know, it's going to be great for a photo right there. I love the effect. You know, I should have done right away before I started decorating was this. Now, on this one, I do think I want a pocket. I do pockets a lot, but this, because of the nature of this particular album, that's why I do them. So I think it's necessary. And I have all of these are the strips that I have left over. And I am thinking about adding a touch of green, a little bit of green in there somewhere. So either that way, or I could do a pocket this way and put that across the top. And just so you know, you might be hearing some power tools in the background. My husband is working on his own creations. And I like this. I like that this is adding in some other colors here. A little bit of the light blue, some of the green. However, I don't have much of a strip. I don't want to cover, you know how I like to put my strip behind that. So I'm going to cover up this part and save most of the green. Let's get that other, oops. Let's get that punched out. There we go. Oh, I love it. And I want a word here. Actually, I just had a thought. Okay. I got a new punch from, let me plug this. I got a new punch from Dress My Craft, which is the company that makes this paper collection. And I want to show it to you. It is really large. I don't know if you can get an idea of how big that is. And I want to show you what all this can do. It says 1.5, 2, and 2.5. So let me play with some paper and show you what you can do. Let's cut these down into size. 1.5 inch wide. Okay, this one is 2.5 already, so I'll keep that one. I need a 2 and a 1.5. So this makes, if I'm taking the 1.5 and it's got guidelines right in here, you just put that right into the guideline all the way in and punch, and you've got an instant tag, which is very cute and would look great in that pocket. Or, well, let's get the next one. I'll show you what this one looks like. This is the 2, and it's got its own little notches in here. Just slide it in there for the 2. And I want you to see the difference in the tops there. Now let's do the 2.5. It's got its own little guides, sort of like a runner in there. And now look at the top of that one. They're all different, and they're all so cute. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. All right, so now another thing you could do with these, let's turn this around and do the other side, and you have a label. See, like you could have that at the top of a page right there as a label, or like this on a pocket, or definitely on the cover of something. Of course, I wouldn't use blue because it kind of gets lost, but look at that. Isn't that cool? So we have 3 different tags. So we also have 3 different labels, because all I have to do is put this back and do the same thing. And you can make these whatever length you want. See, this is a longer piece just because it was already longer, but you can make these whatever length you want. Isn't that fun? So I was just really thrilled when I saw this and how well that works. There's something else you can do with it. And this one only works on the 2.5 inch wide. So let me get another paper and see if I can get this one to show you what else can be done. All right, now on the back, when you turn it over, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit and show you. There are holes here. Those 4 holes I want to keep an eye on. So when I put the 2.5 in here, in its place, I'm going to hold it in place, turn it over. I'm going to pull it back evenly until I no longer see them through those holes there. Once I get it where they've just passed the holes, see that? I'm going to do that again. And now you have a ticket. One more thing. We're on a roll here. Let's put this in again. 2.5. It only works on the 2.5. And now, instead of pulling it down just to where you can't see it through the holes, I'm going to put it up just until they cover all those holes. Just then, but before I see it in the big hole. Okay. Now it gives me an entirely different look on that. I could still make a ticket out of it, but I want to show you something else you can do with this. Alrighty, get the paper trimmer out and then trim this just below. Let's see, you can see on this paper where there's the flat edge. I want to leave just a fraction of that flat edge, you know, like 1/8 of an inch or so. Okay. Now what I have is I have a tab, and if this were a different color, I could glue that right there and have that tab. I wouldn't do it in this color, but I was just showing you off my scraps. I also did not cut that very straight, but you get the idea. So you can make tickets with it. You can make tickets with a different image, a different shape of notch. You can make tabs with it, and you can make 3 different patterns of tags and you can make labels with them as well. So it's all in one in this one punch, and I think it's just fascinating. It is large, it is heavy, it's a good sturdy craft tool, and I only have, I think, 3 of them in my shop because they are pricey and I wasn't sure how much interest there would be in them. So I thought maybe I could do one here. And I could still go ahead and use the blue, or I could use a different color. I could use the green. Thinking. Let me see if I like the green better. Definitely more Christmassy, right? This is the 1.5 again. Set these aside because these I can use in anything. They're really great. Alrighty. Now, the other thing we could do like something around the holes, or like hole reinforcers. And I have the dies, and those of you who've been wanting to get the dies, but I had already sold out, just letting you know that I have 20 more on order. I was only able to order 15 at a time from the Elizabeth Crafts, and so I got 15 from her and 5 more from another supplier. So those are there, but I also have this, not in my shop, but I just own it. And it's also another great way to do a hole reinforcement really quick. Some of this material here, I can't see whether I'm in there or not. That's nothing I don't. One of the flaws of this design. And it doesn't click when you push down on it, so you don't really know if you've got a good seal, a good cut. Well, you know what? This thing didn't, I haven't had this for very long, and I don't think it's working nearly as well as it did when I first got it. How about a word there? Let's see if we have any words that are really short. Or there's also this too, because your label can get a lot of interest and dimension, you know, by doing layers on it. Okay, let's pull these in. Just thinking about using the word Mary in there. That'll work. Okay, what I'm going to do is glue this on here. Then I'm going to pop this up. Right there, kind of off-centered, and then I'm going to glue that down there. I want to look at this frame here. And I think this is really cute. This is one of the little cut-aparts, and I think putting that kind of down the corner, or even up here. So we have a lot of focus down here, so I was thinking about moving up there and getting focus up there. It's another thought too. This is kind of a tab on the end here. I don't like that. Okay, I'm also looking through my ephemera that I've got left over from previous years. I have this, which is nice and red and green. It's got some good green in there. So let's use that. Okay, and I want a little bit of dimension. So let's get out our little glitter dots here. Right in the middle of the poinsettia. Oh yeah, that really helps it. Very cute. Yeah, I think that's about enough. I don't need to just put a whole bunch of glitters on there, except I could put some just like randomly around here. I'm going to use some of the smaller ones now. And you can also create this kind of frame that I did by using your little pieces of scraps as well. There we go, just a few extra dots here and there. Perfect. Okay, so that is the next day done. We flip that over. Whoops, I moved this around. Okay, this is how it goes. And now I've got this day here. Look how close. This day, then the shaker, and then Christmas Day. Oh my. Okay, so let's put this back. I love the softness of this pink. It is so gorgeous. But I think I have to bring in some other pink because I didn't buy enough of this. This one's close, but not quite. You know, it's more blush, I think, than that. But I think I may have to use it just to have something to work with here on this side. Okay, I also have these stars that I had cut out before, thinking I was going to use them on a different page. I'm still not sure if I'm going to use them. I might. So what I'm thinking is, do I like this? I like that on the blush. Actually, it looks pretty cute. Okay. Okay. So if I did a pocket coming off this way and a pocket that way, that would be pretty good. This piece is really tormenting me. You know how you just never feel confident in something? I like it, and I just can't seem to find anything that I like it on. Torment, torment. Could pull these two. This will help connect the two pages here. I'm just not feeling this. I love this, but then I'm not enjoying it anywhere I put it, you know? And I don't want to cover up this. It's too beautiful. Kind of liking these strips to put one on each side because they match. Okay, I had to walk away for a moment, and then I got kind of lost, so I'm ready to put this together, but I have another thought. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this together, and then I'm going to do something I hope is not going to make me regret it. I hope I don't regret this, but you know me, I'm always willing to try something new on video. What's the worst that could happen, right? Okay, so there's one. Oh, this one is so skinny. I'm going to have to put this on top. Maybe I'll just move it in a little bit. I don't have any room to affix this under my pocket like I usually do. Okay, let's do that. This way it's still interesting, but my inserts don't get stuck as I'm trying to put them in there. Okay, now for my crazy woman moment. I have decided that I want to try and play with this snow on this page. This is the artificial snow from the dollar store. It is really gorgeous. Of course, it gets everywhere. But I am going to put snow along this crease here and around here, I think. Let me look at this. They would rub up against each other if I did that. So I'm not going to do it that way. I will do it on this side. We have to change our mode here. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this under here to catch the excess. And I am going to put this really thick here. And I'm going to sprinkle this on and leave it on there. Actually, I'm going to sprinkle it on and pat it down. Probably don't need to use this to put this on there. I could have just dumped it on there. That would probably be the best bet, huh? This is better for beads, but it's taking me too long, and I want to get this on there while the glue is still wet. So I'm putting a generous, as you can see, heaping pile, and I'm pushing it down to really make sure I get that on there. I'm going to let that set up before I dump that off. So I will have to come back probably tomorrow to look at that. Yes, I would have done one here, but like I said, it would catch on this. However, I could do it on an edge, which would make the page difficult to grab, to turn pages, and I don't want to do that. I could do it elsewhere on here, just little accents or whatever, little hints of snow throughout it. Could be across the bottom. I have a thought, another thought here. Okay, I have a snowflake punch. I'm sure I can do something fun with that. Okay, so I'm going to punch it on this glittery cardstock that I picked up. I love having white glitter cardstock at Christmas. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go ahead and pour off the excess, but I'm not going to get really aggressive with this. I'm just going to leave it like this. Oh, that is cute. And I'm sure by tomorrow, when I actually dump all of that off and kind of tap it, we'll see how well it adhered and whether I need to add more. Okay, so here we go. And I think I like this magical night. That's really pretty. I just occurred to me that when I was doing these, that I should have done some that were about snow or snowfall or something along those lines, huh? Oops. And while I'm gluing this, I want to tell you about my most magical moment. I love sparkle. It doesn't matter if it's diamonds or glittery snow. I love things that sparkle. And one year for Christmas, it was Christmas Day, my husband and I went out early in the morning to shovel so that we just shovel the driveway so that we could, load the car up with all the gifts and load up the grandchildren and the family and head over to his parents so the children and we could spend Christmas with, their great grandparents. And it was snowing. And it was one of those soft, glittery, full snows, and the entire lawn and everything was sparkling. I had my Christmas lights on outside the house, and it was definitely magical. I was just so entranced. It was so silent and so quiet, and he and I were the only two out. It was still pitch black out except for one street light and the Christmas lights that we had, which were reflecting on my snow. It was just so sparkly and so magical. It took my breath away. And I think of that Christmas often. It was the most beautiful Christmas day. So I'm putting most of these on the top, as you can see, toward the top. I think I will bring these in and glue these on the bottom. So they say diamonds are a girl's best friend, but I think sparkly snow is up there. There we go. Okay, I think that is adorable. So I will wait, and then tomorrow I will shake this off, and we'll see what we have. Okay, I am ready. This is the next day. I'm just pumping that down there a little more firmly. And I thought I would use this very soft brush to just lightly sweep across there. Hardly anything's falling off. I can save this. And there we have it. Oh, I really like that. It's nice and firm, actually. Okay, now obviously I wouldn't scratch at it with my fingernail. I did have one other thought, and I'm wondering if I could use this as a hole punch reinforcer. Now I realize that that center is pretty small. Oh, just. So I thought I might put that. Oh, I love it. Yes, definitely need that. I think one more for that side. This hole reinforcement and that hole reinforced. Okay. Hole punch. So, and then I will call this good. Ooh, really tight fit there. Okay, that takes care of that day. So we did this set here, and that's a pocket, and then we have two pockets back to back here, and that will take care of today, and then we will move on to the shaker. Okay, thank you so much for watching this. I'm really excited about this. We are getting so close to the end, people, and it's really coming together. It's nice and chunky, and I love it. And let's just pull this in here. There you go. That's how thick it's getting right now. Please look at the links down below, and don't worry if you are behind the project, you can always go and rewatch the videos.